Hey everybody, welcome back. Got another quick video for you today on MicroStrategy, a stock which we have seen drop over the past couple of weeks, really since about the middle of July. Now we are seeing the stock come into critical levels of support, where we again have found that support in the past. The question now becomes, where do we go from here? Are we about to see a potential bounce, especially amidst news that we have coming out of the company? So we'll get onto that first, but before we do jump in, I want to mention I am not a financial advisor, and this is of course not financial advice. It is just based on my opinions. If you do enjoy my videos, please do help me out by leaving a like and subscribing. I try and make as much content for you guys in the most quick, concise and relevant ways possible. So if you could subscribe, it would be appreciated. I'm going to jump straight into this news here. Now we know that whilst MicroStrategy has missed out on S&P 500 inclusion, Michael Saylor's firm has bought another 1,955 Bitcoin for $270 million. MicroStrategy has expanded its Bitcoin holdings with $217 million worth of a purchase amidst recent investor pushback as the stock slides and its valuation relative to Bitcoin weakens. What do we know so far? Well, we know that the purchase of another 1,955 Bitcoin was done for $217 million at an average price of $111,196 per coin, lifting the total holdings now to 638,460 BTC. The buy comes amidst the company missing out on getting included in the S&P 500. MicroStrategy's shares have slid 26% since July, where they are currently trading at $335. Now, MicroStrategy has announced its big purchase. Again, the total holdings now up to 638,000. Now, I think this is really as relevant as that article is going to be. Let's just get straight into the good stuff, right? What are we looking at? Well, of course, that is potentially a good sign. You could make an argument for that, and I wouldn't disagree. However, on the technical side, at the very least, we are coming up to an interesting point as well. Now, we all know this stock missed out on S&P 500 inclusion, which raises a number of other questions as to where things go. I think it was inevitable that we'd see a little bit of a sort of rejection and a push to the downside after missing out on that. However, things really haven't been as bad as many anticipated. Past 5 days, yes, we are down, but not that big. Past month, yes, we are down, but again, coming from the 19th to now, we're only seeing a decline of 2%. And with this trend, and you can see this very clearly on this chart, zoom right in, right? This is not necessarily a straight line anymore. The straight line would draw us down to like here, right? That's not where we are. We're seeing this trend somewhat slow. And again, over the last couple of days, we're actually relatively positive. Again, come to these lows that we're seeing around, what, 328, I think it is? No, 317 even. That's quite a bit lower than obviously where we are now. What that means is, yes, we are still generally in a downtrend, but you're starting to ask questions now as to whether this is a bottom forming. And historical data does point to the fact that this has been a level of support a couple of times in the past. Again, we're seeing this here, we're seeing it as a resistance also way back here. Then you look back even further, this is going back into February. What do we have? Roughly this level working as a support. Same thing that we see here back in January. Even at some points in 2024, most notably here in December and also here in November. So we've seen this level hold up a good couple of times in the past. Again, sometimes it has failed to the downside, yes, and others it has moved to the upside. This stock is down quite a bit since even July, right? So that's a relatively small amount of time to see this stock crashing so much. I think off the back of that, we are potentially coming now to a point where the stock downside is limited, or is becoming more limited, or is becoming less linear. You know, we're seeing this one slowly starting to come to a point, and you've got to ask that question, how far are we from the bottom? Well, if we're looking at the technical levels, and if I'm sharing my opinion, I think what we are seeing is a level that is going to be very crucial. So I'm going to make this one to the downside very simple. 315 or above, that's what we need to hold on to. Ideally, that's more like 318, that would be even better, and again, ideally 320. Anything below 315 and I become seriously concerned, as the next levels in my head below that are quite a bit lower in the twos, right, 200s. So this is going to be a big make or break point. We have bounced off it, we've not gone down to that level again. To the upside, it's also relatively simple. We need to break above highs initially at 330, I should say. 330 is the first level, then we're looking to 337, 339, 350. Then past 350, we are looking to get onto about 360. 360 has been a level of resistance and support many a time in the past. So for a full-on trend change, we are looking at levels like 360 being extremely relevant. However, short-term objective, what do I want to see here? It's actually really easy. I just want to see this one slowly start to make some moves up. Again, if we don't hold on to those downside levels, I think things get a lot worse. If we are able to hold on to those, I think we are in a potential to see a little bit of a reversal. Coming up to the levels as mentioned, I think things start to get a bit better, but that's just my opinions, right? Again, I give you guys the levels both to the upside and the downside for two reasons. Number one, I want to be realistic, and number two, I want you guys to make your own opinion. I've provided you with the data that I am looking at. I think this is relevant. And again, if you are finding value from it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But go on to make your own decisions, formulate your own opinions. Thank you for your time, and I hope I'll see you again soon, guys. Goodbye for now.